It's great to meet you. Thank you for taking a minute out today. I appreciate it.
Okay, we'll get this done and we'll do a good job.
Let's do it. So, I want to begin our conversation with a question I always begin with, which is COVID. 6 years ago, it changed our lives, our world so much. How did you get through that era, and how has it changed the way that you approach life and business today?
COVID was actually easy for me
Yeah.
because the lifestyle I had to adapt because of COVID was the lifestyle I already had.
So I'm curious, what kind of talk to me a little bit about the lifestyle that you just seamlessly got into.
COVID was good for me because it stopped the world from spinning
Yeah.
and it allowed me to sit down and create even more than I was already doing. And it allowed me to focus, which is what I wanted to do. And And COVID did not impact me directly, but I mean, although, a couple of people in my neighborhood got it, one guy in my neighborhood died from it, um, and other stuff. And I got, and part of what I'll say about COVID also is that the one time I got exposed to it, my wife caught it in the airport and she brought it home. My body threw it off.
Yeah.
that and I think it's a testament to my nutrition habits and my workout habits because of a strong immune system. I had 2 days where I felt like I was about 75%,
Yeah.
but I still got my walking done. I still stuck to my regimen. I got my stuff done, and then my body just threw it off.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I had also had the vaccine, which I'm sure did not hurt me.
Right.
But I still think it was, I mean, so I mean, one thing I'll touch on, okay, this is my main message to your audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I do is I tell people my story and I tell them what I did and how I went from this to this, or more specifically, this to this.
Yeah.
And the experience taught me three things, which I'll talk about when we get in there. First thing it taught me was that as confident as I already was, I'm more powerful than I ever imagined. I can do so much more than I ever imagined. That's the first thing it taught me. Second thing was it made me ask, if I can do this, what else is out there waiting for me to do that I haven't done yet that I should be doing? And that's why I haven't retired yet. I'm 66. I could retire yesterday. I mean, my house is paid for, have no debt, have money in the bank. I can retire. Don't want to. I'm having too much fun and I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
And I want to fix this. I want to help fix this crazy, fucked up world we live in.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to cuss on your podcast, but I'm
Oh
just
no,
telling
we're
you.
going right now. That was my first
Oh,
question.
okay. Okay.
Do you want to start over?
No, we're good. We're
Okay.
good.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. You're fine. I mean, the words come out. It's you being you. It's all good. No worries.
Okay. We're good.
Yeah. So let me segue into my next question here before we get into the weight loss transformation and your lifestyle and where you're at and how you're inspiring people. If I put you in front of a bunch of 12-year-olds right now and you were in a school and it was career day and one of the kids wanted to know what you do for a living, how do you explain what you do?
I would tell them I change people's lives. I teach people. I tell them I've had I said, you're 12 years old right now. When I was 12 years old, what I was dealing with was my mother died when I was 8. I was living with my father who was really, really big, really, really, really overweight. And he didn't know how to eat right. He didn't teach me how to eat right. And we just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it set me up for a lifetime of not good results,
Yeah.
not happy, not good stuff. But I said, when was turning 50, I got my head together and I figured things out and I got in shape. And once I got in shape, I learned some things that other people need to know so that you don't have to go through what I went through. So what I do now is I help teach you what I've learned, help teach you the easy way, what I learned the hard way.
what was the ultimate thing that made you make that change? Was there a pivotal
Okay.
1 minute?
Yes, yes, there was. Okay, I was getting ready to turn 50 years old, and I go, and I know you guys are 12 years old, so you can't imagine me at 50 years old yet, but it'll come, I promise you. As I was getting ready to turn 50, I was 320 pounds. I I wasn't quite as big as in this picture, but I was still pretty big. I was 320 pounds. I hadn't had a heart attack yet, hadn't had a stroke yet, but man, my body hurt. My legs hurt, my knees hurt, everything hurt. I wasn't happy. And I woke up and I said, Stanley, where are you going to be in 5 years if you keep going the way you're going? And I didn't like the answer because can you guess what the answer was?
In the grave.
Dead, dead. I was going to be dead. And I didn't want to be dead. So I said, okay, I'm going to start making some changes right now. Not tomorrow,
Yep.
not next week, not yesterday, right now. Boom. Now the question becomes, did it take me 50 years to change? Or did it take me 1 minute to change? And the answer is what I tell myself is it took me almost 50 years to get ready to change in 1 minute.
Yeah.
So the message to you listening is you don't have to wait 50 years to change in 1 minute. And in my previous career, I, I'm an accountant and an attorney. So I do a lot of business stuff and I'm what they call a systems thinker. I I get paid, people have paid me a lot of money to take complicated things and make them simple. So I said, how can I simplify this process of changing your life? So I put it all into a system. That system is something I call the way of excellence. You can see it right here. It's on my website too, all this stuff. So
Yeah.
you'll be able to see it much better, read it and everything.
Sure.
But it's it's all about it's all about stop trying to be perfect. Because when we try to be perfect, we're not perfect. We're human beings. We're gonna mess up. We're not gonna get there. That's all there's to it. So the goal is not perfection. The goal is excellence. Because it's like you know you've heard the term perfectionist. You want everybody's perfectionist. You want to be a good enoughist. Good enough is good enough. Don't waste your energy trying to be perfect because you're not going to get there anyway. You're just going to be spinning your wheels, wasting your time, wasting your energy. Just get to the point where it's good enough and be happy with that. And then constantly work on making it better and better and better every day. So my thing was I didn't want to be dead. So I said, I'm going to learn to start eating better right now. I'm going to start exercising every day right now. In the beginning, it wasn't always easy to do it every day because my body hurt. But over time, I got stronger and stronger. And I went from being a person that day, 17 years ago, it's almost exactly 17 years ago, I said, I'm going to start walking every day. I'm going to be a walker. And I picked walking because I said you don't need a lot of equipment. You can do it almost anywhere you go, and it's easier on the body. Well, I was very prophetic. Since that date, February 1st, 2009, 17 years ago, this is how much I have walked.
Wow.
I have walked 30% of the way to the moon. Just last year, I walked this much. Like imagine I started in Los Angeles and I started walking to London and I ended up somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic.
Wow.
But I almost made it to London.
Wow.
Now, the point is this, and this is all I started as a person. I couldn't walk 2 or 3 blocks. The point is not that I'm Superman. It's not that I'm so great. The point is this. If I could do these things, if I, it means I'm more powerful than I ever imagined. And if I'm more powerful than I ever imagined, Guess what? So are you. We are all more powerful than we ever imagined. I am no more special than you. You are no more special than me. We are all special. This is it right here. You are more powerful than you ever imagined. That's why start believing that because when you believe in yourself, when you have, that's when you get the power. Because when you start believing you can do something, that's when you start pushing your limits. You start pushing your boundaries and you start making things happen. There's an old saying, if you believe you can or you believe you can't, either way, you're going to be right. So start believing you can. And people ask me, do I have to do what you do every day? No, you don't. What you need to do is what works for you. And not only that, I'm going to make it even easier. You don't need to do anything. You're still alive and breathing. You get to do it. It's a privilege. It's not an obligation. And what I tell people is this. I make it simpler. Now, mind you, I'm in year 17 of this path that I've been on. So I'm further down the line than most people. But the important thing is that you get started and you don't stop. If you have a bad day and you mess up, just pick yourself up and get going the next day. You're gonna make mistakes. That's normal. Mistakes are proof that you're trying. It's okay as long as you learn from the mistakes. And what I tell people to do, you want to get your life in shape, you want to get in better shape, you want to feel better. Okay. My story is weight loss. So I'm going to use myself as an example on weight loss, but yours may be something else. And that's fine. That's why I put everything into a system so you can apply it to whatever you want to apply it to. But I tell people eat a little bit less garbage. Eat less processed food. Less McDonald's, less Burger King, less fried chicken, less pizza, less whatever, and more whole food. So less. I'm not telling you to never eat those things. I'm just saying eat it less. Okay. Quit eating 5 hours before you go to bed at night. So that means no snacks while you're watching TV at night. None of that stuff. Quit eating 5 hours before you go to bed. And then walk 20 minutes a day. That's all I'm telling you. Those are three easy things. Eat a little bit less garbage. Quit eating 5 hours before you go to bed and walk 20 minutes a day. If every able-bodied person in America and in the world would do that, can you imagine how much healthier we would be
Yeah.
and how much more social we would be because everybody's getting out walking and talking to each other instead of yelling at each other and screaming at each other? And, you know, it's crazy. I mean, I had the other day, I had a friend of mine in Louisiana tell me that he had something, he was out on the road and he saw some road rage from some person where they were just losing it. And he told me about that. And a couple hours later, my wife and I were walking out of Walmart in the parking lot, and we saw somebody driving their car down the parking lot. Somebody else was walking, and they lost it over them. They started screaming at him, everything else. And I told my friend, "There's something in the air today. I don't know what it is." And we all should start being more friendly
Yeah.
to each other and caring about each other. But it starts with caring about ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we don't always take care of ourselves. That's a jumbled mix of my message, but that's it in a nutshell. You have any questions about that?
I do. I'm going to kind of branch off. I have some things I want to get into. Who has been that inspirational force? Who's been that hero for you in your life?
Well, there are several in various ways, but you're going to laugh when I tell you this. I think my biggest hero has been myself.
Yeah. No, that's
I mean,
I get it.
I really do, but there's another lady. Her name was Peggy Chun. She was an artist in Honolulu, Hawaii. She passed away a long time ago. When I met her in 2007, she was end stages. She had Lou Gehrig's disease. She was bedridden on a ventilator, could not move, could not speak. The only way she could communicate was people would hold up an eye chart and they would read her eye movements and she could spell out words. So when I saw her, the thought that went through my mind was, if I ever get like that, please take a pillow, put it over my head, and take me out. And that was not her attitude. Her attitude, she had the most incredible joy for life of anyone I ever saw. She
Wow.
was like, my grandkids are coming over later today. We're going to paint. We're going to get in the car. They're going to take me to the park. It's a beautiful day. We're going to go have fun. Um, I told her how I was getting ready to go on a driving trip around the whole United States to interview 50 people for a book I was writing. And she said, that sounds like so much fun. I wish I could go with you. Ask them these questions, do this, do that. You know, so when I had mornings where I didn't want to get up out of bed and go walking, when I felt sluggish, when my motivation was lacking, you know the saying, what would Jesus do?
Yeah.
I started saying, what would Peggy Chun do?
Yeah.
And the answer, if she could have, and the answer is Peggy Chun would have gotten her lazy butt out of bed and she'd have gone walking and she might not ever come back if she could have.
Yeah.
So that helped motivate me. But another thing I learned was people wait for motivation. Motivation wears off. Motivation, it's a fallacy. This is already January 23rd. How many people joined a gym at the beginning of the year who stopped going by now? Who who, if they haven't stopped yet, they're going to stop by the end of March. Yeah, a lot of people. Motivation's going to wear off. Motivation will get you started, but it's not going to last. Discipline, on the other hand, is what gets the job done. And I'm not talking about punishment, I'm talking about self-discipline. It's called identifying all your old negative habits and getting rid of them. Okay, for me, I used to drink alcohol, got rid of it. I used to drink all this soda pop, got rid of it. I used to eat all this garbage food, got rid of it. I used to sit on my butt, got rid of it. I started eating healthy food. Boom, good, positive habit. You know, I started walking every day. Boom, good, positive habit. All those things. It's getting rid of your negative habits and forming new positive habits. That's the power. And then where the last bit of power comes in is when you become 100% committed to something. Because when you become 100% committed, it becomes easy. And I'll give you an example. I am 100% committed that no unhealthy food is going to enter my mouth. I've already had my lifetime share of unhealthy food, plus yours, plus probably 50 other people's. So I said, not going to go into my mouth. Oh, before Christmas, people gave me cupcakes and cookies. I took them. I had no desire to eat them. I didn't even think about eating them. I gave them to a neighbor who's skinny, who likes that kind of stuff. And that was it. Boom, done, gone. I had the other day, somebody offered me some cake. No, thank you. I don't want it. Have a nice day. I am 100% committed to walking every day. If I have a day where I wake up in the morning and I don't feel like walking, those are the days when I say I need to go walking twice. You know, it's it's who I am. It's all about changing your identity. The Stanley you are talking to today is not the same as the Stanley from before.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Different people, same person, different people.
So the one thing too is that whole idea of 90 days you develop a habit.
Yeah.
Is that that's kind of the cornerstone of getting to that place where you have discipline, correct?
Yes, but I think you can do it faster than that.
Yeah.
And it's all anything, all this stuff in life we're talking about, it's 90% between our ears.
Yeah.
It's mental. It's, I had to get to the point where I made up my mind. I said, if I don't change, I'm going to be dead. That's about as cold, hard fact as I could get.
Yeah.
And the whole point is to stop BSing ourselves, to tell ourselves the truth. But then not only that wasn't the first time I told myself that I needed to lose weight, that I needed to get in shape, but it was the first time that I acted on it. And I acted on it permanently. I said, I became willing to permanently change my habits. Not temporarily, permanently. Because if you make temporary changes, you're going to get temporary results. If If you make permanent changes, you're going to get permanent results. So you have to be willing to permanently change. And when you do that, you are so powerful. Man, it's hard to stop you. I mean, the only thing is, I can't guarantee you, Joe, that you can become the starting second baseman for the Kansas City Royals, but I can guarantee you could coach them and help them be a better baseball player.
Yeah. So how long did your father live?
He lived till he was 85,
Wow.
but the last 10 years or so of his life, he was in poor shape.
My
And yeah,
my father passed at 64, and he was big most of his life, and I saw those things, and that I made a lot of changes in my life, and I think
good.
sometimes people have to have those examples right in front of their face. What's been one of the best letters you've ever gotten? Best kind of fan letter feedbacks from people that made a deep transformation that you were a part of?
Well, I don't know about the best, but I'll give you an example I had the other day, right before Christmas. I I have two main websites. One of them is devoted solely to weight loss. And in that website, I had somebody I'd never talked to the person before. It's got a lot of healthy information there about how to eat healthy, how to lose weight without drugs or surgery. To me, that's key. I don't think we need those things.
Yeah.
All that stuff being sold to us.
Yep.
And so this guy sends me an email. He said 6 months ago, he said in July, I collapsed and they sent me to the hospital. I had kidney failure and I was a mess. He said, they stabilized me and I got out of the hospital. And I said, I'm going to start making these changes that Stanley talks about on the website. He said, now it's December. I've lost like 60 pounds. I feel so much better. Everything is stabilized and everything is great. Thank you very much. And that was a guy, I'd never talked to the guy. I didn't even, other than the fact he signed up and was a member on my website, I didn't know anything about him. He did all of that without talking to me first, just from the information on the site. And it changed his life. Now, I didn't make any money off of him, but that's okay because the mission is more important than the money. See, that's one of the problems. That's what I tell people. Listen to my message that I'm giving you and trust my message. And the reason why I think you can trust my message more than most of the messages we see on TV is I'm not asking for your money. So my motives are different. I'm I feel very fortunate, very lucky to be where I am at and to be in the position I am in. And I believe it is my privilege to help other people, not my obligation. I don't have to do anything. It's my privilege. I enjoy it. Those are the kinds of things. And I've had many stories like that, but that's the one that just popped into my mind when you asked the question.
So the one thing about doing this is you're giving of yourself, and like you said, you don't have to do it, and you're helping people. What is one of the nicest things that somebody's done for you?
Well, I guess believing in me. Um, many times I've always said one of the nicest things somebody can do for me is not get in my way. Like, um, for example, they, this is just a small example. I've been president of my homeowners association for 11 years. And I do that because I want to live in a community that's run well and be a great community. People ask me, do you get a lot of help from the other homeowners? I go, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But the one thing I don't get from the homeowners is grief. They don't fight me. They don't make my life difficult. They don't make my job difficult. They support me. So sometimes, I know that's a negative answer to what you were saying, but
No,
sometimes,
it's not.
yeah, but that things like that. Okay, when I started on this journey, I told my wife I'm going to make some changes, and you might like them, and you might not like them. She didn't stop me. She didn't fight me. She didn't tell me I was nuts. I mean, I still had to do the work, but she didn't try to fight me.
Yeah.
She didn't make it harder. So those are the kinds of things.
So at the end of the day, Stanley, everyone has a perception of you. Family, friends, everyone that gets your book, everyone that your books, everyone that knows you, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Who I think I am,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to take the ego out of this. So don't look at it from ego position. I believe I am one of the most powerful people on the face of the earth. I believe I have figured things out that many people, most people might not ever figure out. And it's a result of the experiences I've been through. It's like I don't regret anything I've been through. That's not to say I wouldn't have changed some things, I would have, but those experiences made me into the person I am today. They taught me what I know today. And I like where I'm at today. I think I am in a rare opportunity. I think I have an opportunity to help large groups of people, and the internet makes that possible. It makes it harder in some ways, but it makes it easier in other ways. And I think I have a message, and I think my motives are, I'm not perfect, but I think my motives are clean. I think I always like to say I have a gift. And I've said this many times. I have a gift that people trust me, that people believe me. And I learned a long time ago to never betray that trust or take advantage of that gift because the minute I do is the minute I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And I know that might sound a little egotistical, but that's what I think about
No,
my.
I dig it. It's good. I totally get what you're saying. So if anybody's ready for the next step, the way of excellence, diving into your world, your books, all of the messages that you've been putting up throughout this podcast, thewayofexcellence.com. I will put that link in the show notes. And this has been a wonderful story. And this hits me on a personal level. As I mentioned, my father was dealt with a lot of health issues and was overweight for most of his life. And I think sometimes those examples can be the most powerful for us to decide to change.
Can I share something about my father real quick before
Yeah,
we go?
please do.
Okay. I said this just yesterday, and I say this all the time. If you ask me how old my father was when he died, 85, if I would have known what I know about nutrition back then when he was alive, I think not only could I have made the last 10 years of his life much healthier,
Yeah,
I think I could have added another 10 years to his life
I agree.
because I would have put him on a whole food, plant-based diet, no crap, none of that stuff. And the funny thing was, he would not have fought me in the least. If I would have made all this healthy food and brought it to his house and said, "This is what you eat," he'd have said, "Okay, sounds good." He wouldn't have fought me in the least.
Yeah,
And I'm sorry I didn't do that, but I didn't know.
yeah, yeah.
So you make
Well,
up for it. Now,
well, yeah, that's you're doing it in your life, you know?
yeah,
So, yeah,
and help others.
that's it. That's the bottom line. Well, I love the message. Thank you so much. Thank you for your story. I will put all these links in the show notes. I really appreciate it. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you, Joe.
I appreciate it.